it goes back to decades and centuries of just breeding masculinity, and in some cases, a lot of cases, toxic masculinity. But it's just like as soon as a woman does something that's no such thing as toxic masculinity.
No such thing.
There are toxic people, and those toxic people can be masculine or feminine. But when the man pulls you out of your burning building, you don't give a how masculine he is.
We have got a lack of manhood and masculinity in our neighborhoods. See, masculinity is the imposition of a set of behavioral standards on a boy. So when the boy grows into a man, he has some things he has to do.
The way he's saying this and what he's saying is this. When that little boy, which I already explained earlier, right? My mother told me, hey, you're 18, you should get a credit card. But she didn't tell me what that credit card is potentially going to do. She didn't tell me that I have to pay that money back. She didn't tell me that, paying the minimum is just going to get me in more debt. She didn't tell me about what's going to happen in the future. She didn't tell me that. See, what Judge Joe Brown said masculinity does is let that boy know all of the possibilities, all of the ramifications of your actions, your decision making, consequences of your decisions. I used to tell my daughters the repeat consequences when they couldn't even say the word. But today, the 20-year-old, she understands consequences. Like, because I embedded it in her head. Your actions have consequences. Your actions have consequences. I tell them that. But my mother, rest in peace, she did the best she could, but my mother didn't teach me about consequences. My mother never taught me about consequences. You know what my mother did do? She was reactionary. Everything that happened, she just reacted. Like, all right, I'm going to think of the worst and, we're just going to handle it when it gets there. That's what women do. Marcus Moore, I love how you just said it while I'm talking about it. No accountability. No accountability at all. And that's why you need a man with women. Women, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and we were talking about just women leading. And thanks, Mr. Marcus Moore. About women leading. The reason why women cannot lead is because they lead with their heart. They lead with their emotions. They look at things right now and react on them right then and there. When shit is going down, we take a step back. We always, masculine men, that is, not pookies, not a pookie. We're going crazy in our head. This is happening, right? It's happening. Now, I'm going to give you a prime example. In 2019, I had to save these two individuals from a burning car. And I did a whole video on that. I might upload it. Matter of fact, I might update it and just tell the... Matter of fact, I'm going to tell the story now, right? Fuck it. And I'll cut this out. But in 2019, I saved these two dudes out of a burning car that just crashed. It just crashed, right? Like, boom, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm at work. I'm talking to my employee. I'm a supervisor. We're just chit-chatting. And next thing you know, because we're outside, next thing you know, boom! I hear this shit, and I'm like, what the hell was that? Now, I do have training because I was a firefighter when I was 20, but I was only a firefighter for 6 months, and, but we did train for things like this, but a lot of this has to do with being a masculine man as well, you see? So, I heard this crash. I go out to the street. The car is on its side, and I just was like, wow, they're dead. Whoever's, because they hit a light pole or a utility pole. I said, these guys are dead. Whoever's over there, they're dead. But I went over anyway. My masculinity pushed me over there, you guys. And again, like Joe Brown said, a man with masculine values understands that He has to act like that man was just talking about on that video. If I'm pulling you out of a burning building, masculinity brought me to pull you out of that burning building. And in my case, like I said, I did have training, but a lot of men have done this without training, because that's just, we're taught at a young age by men. Now, I did have masculine men throughout my life, though. I did. And I think that's what planted certain seeds in me later on so I could develop this type of attitude. But I just went over there. And when I went over there, I seen this guy hanging out of the window. And I was like, that dude dead. But I seen his body go like that. So I knew I had to just grab his ass. Bam. I don't glass everywhere. He's probably going to get tore up. Me great. I'm probably going to break an arm, but he's going to be alive. I grabbed his little ass. He was skinny. I'm glad he wasn't fat. He was skinny. I grabbed him and dragged him over. And he was just like, what's going on? What's going on? I'm like, bruh, you were just in an accident. I got to get you, buddy. And the work that I do, I'm a first responder. I'm not going to tell you guys what I do, but I'm a first responder anyway. So at the end of the day, it's my duty to do this. Just like as a man, it's my duty to do it as well. Now, I dragged his ass and put him in the grassy knoll. As they say in JFK, I took him over to the grassy knoll. And then someone else came out of the buildings and said, wow, bro, it's somebody else in there. It's somebody else in that car. I said, no, man. No, because I don't know if this car is about to blow up. It's on fire. Smoke is everywhere. And I'm like, wow, man. Let's go. So I go back in there. But I can barely see my hands in front of me from the smoke. And this car can blow up at any time, you guys. Can blow up at any time. So I did the best I could. I went in there. He's in the back. He got his seatbelt on. I unbuckled the seatbelt. Luckily, it just came out. He fell. We grabbed his ass. I had help at this point. And we grabbed him and we took him to the grassy knoll. And he said, who are you? I said, I'm your motherfucking guardian angel right now. So shut the fuck up. But masculinity did that. A POOKIE would have said, nah, bro, I ain't about to mess with that. Because they bitches. They raised by women. I was raised by a woman, but like I said, I had masculinity in my life. I understood. Because look, even though I had that training, if I did not have it in me to do it, I wouldn't have done it. You see? Because the training was for the job that I had 20 years ago. The training wasn't for this. So at the end of the day, what brought me to save these two individuals was being a man. That's what men do. And they're trying to take away that ability for men to be men. They want us to be docile. They want us to be little girls. These women want little girls. These women want men who want to talk about their feelings with them and doing this and take me out and take me to the movies all the time, and you're not spending quality time with men. Man, look, we out here trying to get it.